Okay. All right. Right now, we're going to go through accessing the tax withholding estimator on irs.gov. So, all right. So first and foremost, we want to go to Google and type in the text bar IRS tax withholding estimator. All right. This will take us to the IRS tax withholding estimator on irs.gov. We click that. Once we get inside, we go to use the tax withholding estimator. All right, now this is where you will be submitting your information so that your employer or wherever you work can determine how much needs to be taken out of tax based on your specific information. Now, the W-4 is a form that most people fill out when they first get a job. And for the longest time, we've had a lot of HR representatives that would just tell you, oh, baby, just fill out the 0. Just put 0. Don't worry about this. But the fact of the matter is the W-4 accurately portrays your life situation so that no two people are supposed to be taxed the same, because people have a lot of different situations. Some people have children. Some people have a business. It's a lot of different situations. And so your W-4 helps you to accurately portray who you are to the government so you can be taxed correctly, right? So boom. So on this first page, so we just gonna fill out the basic information. So we're gonna do the example of a single person with no children making a certain amount of money. So let's do it. So single, right? Do you have a job or a pension that regularly withholds federal income taxes from your paychecks? Yes, you do, right? Now, these options, I mean, you know, if they pertain to you, you fill them in. But for the example, we're just going to say that they don't pertain to us. All right, income and withholding. So how many jobs will you have this year with federal income tax regularly withheld, right? So we're going to go with 1. Then we're going to pick a salary job. And we're going to say that we work in this job all year, getting paid twice a week. Twice a month, So when did your most recent pay period end, right? So just for the example right now, we're going to use, the current dates. So we'll say that the last time the last pay period that ended was 8/16/2024, and the payment will be made on 8/23/2024. All right, now enter the wages, right? So we're gonna work with somebody who makes a salary of $50,000, right? So just say $50,000. And so for enter wages or salary per pay period, let's just say this person is making $2,000 per pay period. And the wages of salary to date, we would say, being that we're in August right now, twice a month for 8 months, just say 16 actual pay periods, and that would be 32,000 year to date, right? So based on the information provided, it looks like your total income from the job will be $50,000. That's correct. Now in terms of taxes, right? So if you're making $2,000 per pay period and getting taxed pretty much about the 30% of that, 30% on $2,000, that would be roughly $600, right? So just say $600 per pay period. And $600 times the 16. Let's do some math time, right? So 16 pay periods times $600. That will leave you with $9,600, right? $9,600. All right, now if you contribute to a 401k, we're not going to do any of those things. But adding on those things help you to reduce your taxes as well. So, but for this example right now, we're not going to do any of that, right? So we're going to do none of the above. Other sources of income, we're not going to include any of those. And other withholding and estimated tax payments from other sources of income. Right now, we just want to focus on the one job that you are actually filling out this W-4 for. So we're going to exclude these right here and go to the next, right? So adjustments to income. This is very important. So student loan interest deduction, like all of these things provide different deductions from your taxes that a lot of people aren't actually notifying the government that they have, right? But the biggest one right here is this: certain business credits for reservists, performing artists, and fee-based government officials. So before the W-4 had a section where they just asked you flat out, tell us about your deductions for your business. But now they hide it in plain sight behind this right here, right? And so when you click this, this is where you would enter the amount of expenses that you have for your business, right? So we're going to do this example with a business and without a business. But right now, without a business, we're not going to click this, right? So let me go to next. Deductions. Now, this figure right here, $14,600. This is your standard deduction. Your standard deduction is the amount of tax or amount of money that you can make before you are taxed. So the first $14,600 that you make are not tax deductible, right? Everything after that is where they can begin taxing you. So pretty much, if you make $100,000, your standard deduction is $14,600. So that means that you will be paying taxes on $86,400 instead of the entire $100,000, right? And that's where your taxes actually begin. So we want to click no. We just using the standard deduction. Tax credits. So this is, so you want to enter your age. I'll put mine for the example, right? And this is where you indicate whether you have children or not, right? So that you can receive the child tax credit, right? So we're not going to fill this out with any children, but if you do have children, you put the number of children right here. I mean, the age of your child and the number of children that you have down as dependents. And also, you will put the amount of money that you need or utilize for work-related child care expenses. And then your earned tax credit and so on. So, going to the next, this will bring you to the end of the form, right? And so this is where your results are. So this is a very important segment of this whole process. Expected tax withholding. That's how much is expected to be taken away from you in taxes if you never filled out any W-4. If you never did anything different than what you're doing right now. The government will be taking $15,000 out of your check throughout the year and paying you back at the end of the year. But the anticipated tax obligation, meaning how much you actually owe, is only $4,000. So that means they took $15,000 from you, but they only were supposed to take $4,000. And at the end of the year, they'll say, okay, we took too much from you. Let me give you some of that back. That's your refund, right? So your refund will be $10,000. However, how many people do you know with a $50,000 job getting a $10,000 refund. And that's because the IRS taxes your tax refund, right? And they never give you exactly how much they are supposed to refund you on how much they took from you. So, because of that, and they have the right to do that because you didn't fill out your W-4 correctly, and alert them or make them aware of your actual situation, right? And so if you filled out all your correct information, you would just follow these instructions down below, right? Your personal information. You will be clicking this right here to download the actual form, because let me click it real quick just to show you. So the whole form isn't too necessary. Most people have the ability to fill out their W-4s through their employer, through their HR department, online. You do it, through an online portal. And really the only number that you're looking, the only section of this W-4 that you're looking to change or submit something is step 3. Step 3 is where you submit the number that is going to be generated from the estimator onto your form right here, or either this paper form or online. You will be submitting this number into step 3 and adjusting your tax withholding, right? And so now, so that was $4,000, right? This right here is $4,000, right? That you will be putting in, and automatically that will bring you more back on your paycheck, right? Because the majority of people in America have their tax withholdings filled out incorrectly. And so on an average basis, if you properly fill out your W-4, you should be receiving between $150 to $200 a month extra on your check, right? However, most people don't, right? And so most people lose a lot of their money throughout the year to a mistake, right? Or a lack of information. So you would just follow these steps, fill out your personal information, multiple jobs, the spouse works. You technically don't want to fill out the multiple jobs because you technically want to fill out specifically for this job, right? Claim dependents, that's that step 3, that line 3 that you want to fill out and put your numbers in. And then you want to sign and date, right? Or just take that number on step 3 and take it to your HR department. And so yeah. So that is your tax withholding estimator. And like I said, you just want to turn that number in on step 3 into your employer and watch your paycheck go up. All right.